At these finals in various club colours. Nick Lockyer, the captain, and a team that came through impressively in the qualifiers. This is Askeans one on their 5th visit to Twickenham. Peter Wakefield, long-established member of the London Society of Referees, to take charge as the crowd filter through from the car parks. Early hours of the long drawn-out day of the Sevens finals. So one of the top seven-a-side playmakers to start this first tie of the final rounds, Adrian Thompson. Well, that was not his best moments, kicking it out on the full. So one of the best sevens playmakers, Adrian Thompson it is, to start it off for Rosslyn Park, this first of the final rounds. And immediately possession, and of course this game all about possession, and this is where Rosslyn Park excel. Simon Hunter, but good tight marking by Askeans. They seem to be committing themselves quickly, which is one of the popular techniques, but the danger is you might get outstripped, and Alex Woodhouse finds the gap. The cover's tremendous by Thomas, but still Woodhouse makes it. Bold effort in defence by Mark Thomas, but that is the problem. If you come up that quickly, you can commit yourself and leave the gap for someone to exploit if you are not spot on tackle for tackle. You can see here it's just one missed tackle, and that virtually means a try. There was the gap. They didn't have the perfect cover, and they were overcommitted, and Woodhouse was away. Seven minutes each way. Passes quickly, almost 2 minutes of the first half. 6-0, that makes it. The kick from Adrian Thompson. Still waiting for first possession of the ball. This Courage League Division 3 side. Woodhouse again. Back from Renwick. Richard Moon. So totally committed. Ivan Reffel there. And Richard Moon, the 15-a-side captain of Rosslyn Park. Good work by Riffle, away by Gilden. Lockyer, good support from Gilden. Thompson covers, tackle on the 22 is good. In goes Rigby, but it's loose ball for Hunter. Now that's an interesting ploy, because he saw Askeans all committed, and it's now just a matter of pace. Russell is the man chasing, but Hunter has the legs. It's all a matter of controlling it now, and there's try number 2 for Simon Hunter. It's a sort of kick through that would seldom be of great value in 15-a-sides, but you can see there, once you've established that your opponent's defensive line is fully up and committed, as he did here, just a glance, you see it then. He saw they're all up, and I've got the legs, they've got to turn. And this former sprinter, who's been on the winning 7 with Harlequins on several occasions, outstripped Dave Russell. Kick from Woodhouse goes wide, and 10-0 is a pretty satisfactory start for Rosslyn Park after 4 minutes play. Possession at last, albeit untidy. Minute of the first period to go. Woodhouse in his normal role, back from the line-out to do the scrum half work. And again, Thompson, Rennick. A bit untidy by Rosslyn Park here, being well hounded by Askeans. Still, it's Park who get possession. Thompson, little signal from Hunter, wants the kick through. Was he obstructed by Mark Thomas? Referee is waiting for possible advantage, I sense. Rigby a bit isolated, but took on two men, beat them both, running out of place. And that, in fact, is the first 7 minutes gone. Rosslyn Park well poised at 10-0. Well, the sort of side that the crowd here love to cheer on against the big club names like Rosslyn Park. Askeans, one of the sides who've certainly added to the excitement of this tournament. The giant killing act is always one people want to see on occasion. When you're down, the time flies in this particular curtailed form of the rugby union game. And Askeans know they've got to somehow win some possession back. Well, that'll help their cause. Knock on. And the scrummage. Askeans to put in. Russell, Rigby, Reffel. Rob Gilden. The ball is there. Quickly through was Peter Taylor. Happy with the scrummage though, Peter Wakefield, the referee. 10-0 sounds a pretty big margin, but it can change in a flash. But it's Askeans being pressurised, and in fact the ball's stolen away. Hunter for Rosslyn Park. Thompson in support now. Moon tries to cut in through himself, gets it back to Thompson. Chance for Lockyer to make something of it. Now it's Gilden. Crowd come alive as there's a chance here for Askeans. The cover though is there from Peter Taylor. Inside the Rosslyn Park 22. Park very good at thwarting Askean ambitions. Moon away. Thompson with German on the loop. Now Hunter again. Wide out. Richard Moon. Not the pace to get round Russell though. But there's the support. That's the key thing, and Woodhouse is clear. And that's the one that's really going to wrap it up. As Woodhouse goes home for his second try of the tie. And under the posts after just about 2 minutes of the second half. Alex Woodhouse. Good support here. Moon. Then the feed on was via Rennick. And Woodhouse, seen here as a key player in the past in Harlequin colours, before doing pretty well too with his new club Rosslyn Park. 31-year-old Adrian Thompson, well, might have been important, but with a 14-point lead, not so significant, the conversion miss. Didn't go the 10 metres. And so far this tie has exemplified this key element of possession in sevens. Roslin Park have just denied Askians the ball. They come again through Thompson and Hunter. Easily beats his man on the outside. Rigby covering bravely. Bit of showing off here, I think, and a bit of straight possession game. The run-in is for Richard Moon, the man you may recall who partnered Rob Andrew back in the 1982 varsity match here at Twickenham, to just round it off and allow his players now to fully relax. So last year's runners-up looking in impressive form and outstripping Askians. This was try number 4 with a bit of a flourish from Simon Hunter, and well, yes, right round. Obviously didn't want to go the whole way himself and was waiting for someone else to take it on. He found the man in his sevens captain, Richard Moon. Woodhouse. So up to 20-0. And a certain place now in the quarter-finals for last year's runners-up. Well, it's been a pretty formidable task for Askians against 5 of the same side who were in last year's final, where they lost to reigning champions Harlequins. And a lot of sevens experience and technique here. Players like Adrian Thompson, 4 times in the winning Harlequin 7 at the Middlesex tournament. And I think no more than in fleeting moments have Askians had any possession. Roslin Park again, Thompson on his own. So just stretching it out, and Roslin Park will be well pleased, because the first round is always, many ways, the most unpredictable before players are fully warmed up. Thompson has had his little sprint for the line, and Roslin Park, impressive. Woodhouse. So Askians, who fought bravely through in the qualifying rounds against Charlton Park and Maidstone, Old Delanians and Sevenoaks, still looking for a moment of glory, and at last they've got a chance with some possession here and a possible overlap. Good pick up by Russell. But even now Roslin Park determined to keep their line unsullied and not letting anything go. Taylor. Final flourish and a bold effort by Askians, but outclassed in the end by the experience of last year's runners-up, who've made a pretty good account of their opening performance to win through comfortably in the end, 26 points to 0. That's a good start.
Lots more from Twickenham throughout. Well, against Saracens first, and that set up a Roslin Park quarter-final. You'll note that the holders Harlequins are not in the top half of the draw. We will see them later. But now it's Loughborough Students first versus London Scottish first. Bill McLaren commentating this time.
So the third tie of the 6th round brings together the Loughborough students against London Scottish. Loughborough students there with Neil Malone at stand-up half, reckoned to be a future Irish player, and Chris Dossett, the playmaker, and David Curry, a big, powerful, long-striding wing. And the London Scottish side there with Nick Grecian, who has played for Scotland B this season, and David Millard, who captained Scotland at the Student World Cup in France in '87. Two old adversaries here in the 1960s. They met in 2 finals. London Scottish kicking off against the Loughborough students. Fraser Harold, the captain, gets it going. Bit too far, up goes Richardson, immediately taken by Ian Morrison. And it's Richardson feeding out to Reid. That's Curry. Curry to Reid. Reid, powerful little hooker. That's Malone, number 5. And the Loughborough students, who've played twice in the Borders so far, haven't quite reached their potential. Got to the Melrose semi-final this season, and really should have got through to the final. Potentially a very good 7 indeed. London Scottish fellas with a tremendous act to follow. 12 Middlesex finals the London Scots have been in. Withers Green was feeding along the line there. Harold has it now. He's got Appleson outside him. David Miller, the big scrum half. And just a chance here for Andy Walker. Very good tackling there by Reid. But London Scottish moving the ball well. Nick Grecian, this powerful fellow who's plays on the wing for them usually, and for the Anglo-Scots as well. Scots dominating possession here. It's Withers Green, Ian Morrison, David Millard. Millard still going. Morrison feeds back there to Grecian. There's a lot of space out here, but the dummy and the clean break right through, and it's a lovely try for David Millard. A very good start for London Scottish. They completely dominated possession in that little phase. And Millard here intended to put it out to the right, but saw the gap and simply sauntered through. So Millard giving London Scottish the 4 points lead. And Fraser Harold slots over the conversion. And it's 6 points to 0 for the London Scots. Loughborough students, of course, also with a good reputation here at Twickenham. 7 finals they've been in. Haven't been in one since 1976. UAU champions 20 times since the 50s, Loughborough students. But they'll want to get some ball to work with. It gets it started. Andy Walker goes up. Millard caught there by Alexis Reid. Penalty to the London Scots. Referee here is Colin Little, another of the very experienced London Society referees. Some very good handling here by the Scots, and that's a lovely pass indeed out to Andy Walker. That was great stuff initially by Grecian. Fraser Harold going almost all the way. Mark Appleson is going to score, chased all the way there by Nigel Richardson. But that is a brilliant London Scottish try. Very reminiscent of the type of rugby they played in their halcyon times in the 60s. It was beautiful handling all the way. Harold taking it over halfway, and then that nicely improvised pass, and Mark Appleson, who was actually scrum half in a winning London Scottish side not so long ago, puts them 10 points up. Three minutes to go to the break. 7 minutes each way, those ties. Conditions super here at Twickenham. Firm ground, with about 20 matches on it this season, and an awful lot of squad sessions as well. A measured tread and a second conversion of Fraser Harold. And the London Scots are stretching away. 12 points to 0, about 2.5 minutes to go to the break. There once again, Andy Walker proving the vital man at the restart kicks. It's so important to gather in ball from the opposition restart, and Walker has done it twice. Alexis Reid, this tough little Welshman born in Cardiff, went to the Royal Grammar School at High Wycombe, throwing in, gets the ball back. Glass for either line-out obstruction or just getting through too quickly, taken quickly there by Nick Parry. It's Mark Ireland. Change of tactic from David Millard. That was Nigel Richardson, the 20-year-old who's played for Nottingham. This is Neil Malone. Parry going. Over halfway. Being chased all the way by Harold. Parry out there to Alexis Reid. Reid going for the corner, but it was forward. And one of the London Scots is injured. We'll have a look at him in a moment, but bad luck there. It was a clear overlap to Alexis Reid. If you watch it here, this lovely break by Parry. See the little jink and the half dummy. Then he felt the tackle coming from Fraser Harold. And, well, Alexis Reid certainly would have scored. There's a lad who's played for the South and Southwest Division under-21s, hooker in the 15s, so he's a very valuable fella to have in sevens when he can run and handle as well as he can. And so the first injury of the tournament is to Nick Grecian. So Nick Grecian, the Scotland B wing three-quarter, the first injury of the tournament so far, being helped off there. Andy Cushing, that very experienced sevens player on the left as you look at it. And this is a big blow to the London Scots because Grecian, big and strong and experienced. Kevin Troop, who used to play for the Gordons College in Aberdeen, a Gordonian, has just come on to replace Nick Grecian. It's Chris Dossett. Dossett has Curry outside. Beautiful running. And a perfectly timed pass gives Loughborough students their first score. And that'll encourage them tremendously because it was beautifully worked. Chris Dossett, number 6 there. Let's say a playmaker in this side. Crucial to lose your own put in as London Scots did there. And Dossett felt a lot of space out there, pulled in his man, pulled in Mark Appleson, and the way was open for big David Curry. Dossett has converted. And Dossett's conversion cuts it to a 6 points margin at the break. Chris Dossett starts the second half. Millard noticed Fraser Harold coming up that narrow side, but Morrison has it. Millard again. Accidental offside, referee playing advantage. Tony Withersgreen is the fellow caught inside his own 22. Nigel Richardson on the floor, trying to win it initially. And body going over, not staying on the feet. That was Malone, but the pass was a poor one. Mark Ireland couldn't get it. Richardson. Great score there, is it, for Nick Parry. And Loughborough students beginning to show their mettle. Nick Parry, the scorer, the Polish scrum half, and he cuts it to 2 points. And it was really the switch here to the big forward Nigel Richardson and his pass, and the lovely cut inside by Nick Parry and then going outside again. Lovely score. Didn't get quite as close to the posts as Chris Dossett would have wanted. Chris Dossett here with over 100 points for the Loughborough students in 15s this season. This to tie the score. Oh, he's made it. So in no time at all, the game can turn round. A typical 7-style London Scottish leading by 12 points to 0, and now they're tied at 12 all. Psychological advantage passing to the Loughborough students. Actually, the last time the London Scottish won this Middlesex tournament was in 1965 when they beat Loughborough then by 15-8. Appleson. Richardson waits. Parry. Malone. Curry out to Dossett. Dossett on the wing. Almost the interception, beautifully taken and fed away by Richardson to Malone. Nick Parry couldn't hold it. Ball went forward. A real chance for the London Scots here, but Tony Withers-Green has got to win his own ball here. He's lost one so far and it proved vital. Oh, he almost lost another one. Around the 90 degrees. And so the London Scots with certain scrummage vulnerability. Ian Morrison, the big lad they call the Moray Eel, is on this side. Well, but they've lost another one against the head, and that really is, well, not exactly fatal as we can see, because Withers-Green is throwing it. So Alexis Reid, the Loughborough students hooker, will be counting that as 2-0. Scots squealed it that time, but Malone leaves it to Dossett. Dossett changing the tactic. This is meant for Curry. Back there goes David Millard. Millard caught by Curry. So important, that first tackle. Out to Morrison. All a bit haphazard, but the London Scots still with a real chance as Appleson breaks away. He's out in the open. He's got an extra man here. It's Kevin Troop. Troop, the replacement. Magnificent tackle there by Richardson. That big forward is so vital in cover defence. It was a superb tackle by the big fellow. And a nice touch too to lift his man off the ground. So the Exiles as close as that. It's locked at 12-12. They've played almost 4 minutes of the second half. 3 to go. Malone's kick charged down. Charged down by Fraser Harold, the captain of the London Scots. And went over the dead ball line just before he could get the touch. This time, of course, it's London Scots ball. Still wasn't a good enough strike, and Nick Parry played his man before he had the ball. David Millard, and they're not going for the kick at goal. Good for them. Crowd will like that. Fraser Harold, Appleson. Appleson has Troop outside. Is the little replacement going to make it this time? Yes, he is. Kevin Troop is in, and that's a vital score for the London Scots. Denied just a wee while ago, but he makes it this time. Kevin Troop, the replacement for Nick Grecian. And it was very well worked indeed. Appleson cleverly holding on long enough to cause doubt in David Curry's mind, and that opened up the way for Troop to make it to the corner. 16-12 for the London Scots. About a minute and a half left. So the left footer out there on the touchline, Mark Appleson. Fraser Harold has handed over the goal kicking to him. He's full-back in the 15 usually, Appleson. He's given it a good scalp, but just past the right-hand post, and so just the 4 points in it. Loughborough now will be so concerned to make a good kick-off to retain possession. And that onus lies on the captain, Christos. 16-12 for the London Scots. Up goes Morrison. Did well to get it second time. So this could be the last chance for the Loughborough students. Played here in the final in 1976. That was the last one. Won 6 times and been in 6 border finals over the years, Loughborough students, known then as Loughborough colleges. Ian Morrison's been a tower of strength for the London Scots forwards there, both in tackle and in holding the scrummage up. The whistle has gone for the end of that tie, and the London Scots are through against the Loughborough students, winners by 16 points to 12.
Yes, and London Scottish go through to the quarter-finals, where they will meet Northampton. Northampton beating Basingstoke 28 points to 0, and the other quarter-final, an all Roslyn Park affair. Now that's the top half of the draw. This is the bottom half, and notice that name at the bottom, Harlequins, going for a 6th straight win in the Middlesex Sevens. They played Richmond second in their opening game. One quarter-final, London Scottish first against Northampton in the other. Bottom half of the draw, and the holders Harlequins in this half, and we're going to start with a game between Edinburgh Academicals against Millfield Old Boys. Commentator at Twickenham, Bill McLaren.
Millfield Old Boys on their first visit to Twickenham. A great day for them. Their team managers are David Rosser, formerly of Wasp, and Roy Speed, formerly of Bristol. And Millfield Old Boys, formed just in 1985. One of their patrons is Gareth Edwards, an old boy of the school, as indeed is Chris O'Ty. And there Ian Peter leading on a side that hasn't a lot of experience of this kind of rugby. Watch for Damien Griffiths, a very fast Welshman on the wing who's played for Wales B. And there, the oldest Scottish club side, formed in 1858, Edinburgh Academicals, with the 2 Scotland B players in the forwards, Rob Wainwright and David McIver, and Graham McGregor there, who toured with Scotland in Zimbabwe in '88. And the referee by tradition is a Frenchman, Patrick Thomas of Montélimar, a 34-year-old who's been refereeing for 14 seasons. Always a French referee on the final day of Middlesex Sevens. And immediately a penalty for that offence on the floor. And Millfield taking it quickly. Ben Pothicary was the link man there. Fed on there to Simon Hill. Edinburgh Academicals, the second of the guest sides here, their 3rd post-war visit to the Middlesex event, and a great breakout here by Nicholas Jenkins. And that's going to be the first try of the tie, and listen to the roar for Stuart Bower. Millfield in the lead, and a lovely score there by the 24-year-old forward. Marvellous breakout there by number 3 Nicholas Jenkins, known as Shaky to his pals, and he had his forward pal alongside him, Stuart Bower. 4 points to 0. All round the corner kickers nowadays, including Ian Peter here, who's captain of this side. Chipped up very nicely, but no roar from the east stand over there. And so the old boys of Millfield, who qualified with 87 points and 22 against in just 4 games, and who beat Exeter University and Wasp second string, so they're quite a 7-a-side force. Edinburgh Academicals restarting through Simon Burns, their captain. Went straight in. As in Millfield, we're going to take the quick throw in, as they are entitled to do. But I think someone had already asked for the kick again. This is Simon Burns, whose father Ian played for Aberdeen Football Club. Peter went up. David McIver was the fellow who won it back eventually, but those Millfield boys are so quick. It's Ian Peter once again. But a magnificent tackle there by Simon Burns it was. And this is the breakout for the Academicals. Robin Gibson was the lad who took it on. Now it's Ford Swanston. Simon Burns is away. He's got Stuart Howgate outside him. Burns still under support. He's juggled with it, but it hasn't hit the floor. And that is the equalising try. So the two captains have done their bit. Ian Peter a try for Millfield. Simon Burns a try for Edinburgh Academicals. Simon Burns gave it out to Howgate. The wing didn't quite have the pace. Very good tackle by Simon Hill, and that little juggle was all right. The ball didn't hit the floor, and Simon Burns was well in the clear. Some dive too. 4 all. Played 3.5 minutes. And Burns converts his own try, and the Academicals are in the lead. Simon Burns there, a 26-year-old solicitor. Played for Edinburgh against Leinster this season, and is leading this Edinburgh Accies side. Millfield here this season got to the semi-final of the Voyagers tournament and quarter-final of the Dubai tournament, where they beat the US Eagles but lost to the Soviets. David McIver. McGregor. There's Ford Swanston. Here's a great breakout by Rob Wainwright. Wainwright, the big Scotland beat player, on there to Ford Swanston, and Swanston, who plays on the wing for the Academicals in the 15s, trying to get round behind the posts, but good support work there by the 24-year-old, and the Academicals are beginning to settle. It's great work there by Rob Wainwright, this big breakaway forward, 6 feet 4.5. Notice how he made his man, came to him, and then timed the tackle beautifully. And Swanston, well, he just had to keep his legs moving, and he knew he was there. Got a bit further round to make the kick easier for Simon Burns. Burns then, very cool and casual. Edinburgh Academicals, who haven't had a great deal of success in the border circuit of sevens this season, but they won the Royal High event in Edinburgh, beat Heriots in the final 36-4. Jamie Devonall gets it going, nicknamed Titch by his pals. Wainwright just touched the line with his foot. So important to have one big forward who can deal with the opposition restart kicks like that. Nicholas Jenkins with the throw. Knocked back by Ian Peter. Nicely out there to Simon Hill. Devonall. Hill on the loop. That's a great bit of running by him. Hill's going all the way. That's a superb try. A wonderful loop try. And the crowd simply loved it. Simon Hill there, who's played for the first 15 with London Welsh and with Newbridge. Has played also for the Welsh students. And just watch the speed of his loop here, outside Devonall. And he came so quickly and straightened. He had a look either way. The support was there outside him from Damien Griffiths. But Simon Hill made it. And this is some time. Stuart Boer. Just a little bit lazy, that one. They come up to the break. 12 points to 8. Shows you how important it is to slot the conversions in this 7-a-side game. Referee Patrick Thomas will look at his watch and it will tell him that they're well over time. Peter knocks it back. And this Millfield side are very neat and sharp and very good play by them. Devenold again to Hill. That's Damien Griffiths, the very quick Welshman. Counter-attack with Swanston. David McIver trying to feed it away there. Initial knock forward, and it's a scrummage. Somebody's forgotten to tell Monsieur Thomas that it's 7 minutes each way. Nice touch of refereeing there, just motioning to the Millfield backs to stay on side. Good to see a referee helping the players to stick to the law rather than always blowing and fracturing the game. Then Pothecary putting in. Eight and a half minutes played. And a free kick there against the Academicals. They looked a bit forward there, but it's Ben Pothecary making the initial start. It's Devenold. It's very good handling by the Millfield boys. Oh, the dummy has opened up the way. Out there to Damien Griffiths. Griffiths being chased all the way by Swanston. But that's a very important try. So heartening for the Millfield old boys there. And beautifully taken. Damien Griffiths is powerful lad, 6'2" and 15 stones, the scorer. And it came from away over on that far side. Notice the kid on, the look around just to check, and then that improvised pass overhead, and well, it put Damien Griffiths in the clear. And Ford Swanson just couldn't catch him.
Well, Ian Peter Julie converted for Millfield as we join it in the second half. Millfield are leading 14 points to 12.
Ford Swanston. Burns. Howgate. David McIver onto Wainwright. Wainwright took his man out beautifully. This is Robin Gibson. Wainwright. McIver. Wainwright on the loop, taken out early. Graham McGregor here, the son of Ian McGregor, who played 9 times for Scotland as a flanker. This is Simon Burns. Swanston outside him. Swanston being chased by Stuart Boer, but Swanston is away. And so this is a real nip and tuck tie indeed. Academicals in the lead again. Ford Swanston the scorer. £16 to 14. Simon Burns making the little space. Swanston, watch the slight change of pace here, just eased down and then took away again. Thought of handing his man off, but felt he had the legs, and he was right. Simon Burns then, who once scored 280 points in a season for Edinburgh Wanderers before joining the Academicals. Nice little chip kick, clean through. So Simon Burns with a try and 3 conversions is certainly doing his bit. And the Academicals are 4 points in the lead. They played just 3 minutes of the second half. They should have just 4 minutes to go, but Well, with Monsieur Thomas in charge, I'm not going to bank on anything. Devenol. Wainwright. McIver. Deciding it wasn't a knock-on. Robin Gibson. Gibson, where is the support? Well, it was a poor pass. Pick up there by Damien Griffiths, but Gibson, having given the bad pass, certainly was keen to get in the first tackle. Went forward. Graham McGregor, number 4 down there, who toured with Scotland in Zimbabwe in 1988, so it gives you an idea that he's in the lead, as it were. McGregor, very strong. Swanson is with him. McGregor going the whole way. Lovely pass to Swanson. It was straight. And Swanson is home for his 3rd try. Lord Swanson, who played for Scottish schools way back in 84 and 85. McGregor is so powerful. Shrugged off that tackle. Thought of going on his own. Devenol came to challenge him, and then the pass really was a beauty. Good bit of running by Ford Swanson off the ball. He widened it to give himself space. Good vision there. Simon Burns, the Edinburgh Academicals captain all this season. They've done pretty well in the Division 1 Championship, 6th this season with 8 wins out of 13 games. Burns, calm and calculated, his 4th conversion of the tie, and the Academicals may well be on their way into the quarter-finals. Millfield having made a tremendous start. Devenol restarts. McIver, McGregor, Robin Gibson again. Howgate gets it from Burns. Now Howgate's a big strong wing. Devenol going in with a firm tackle there. Burns, Howgate once again to Burns. Now Wainwright. Burns once more. Support. McGregor was outside him on the right, but he's given it there instead to David McIver. McIver on to Gibson. Gibson surely will run it himself, chased all the way by Stuart Boer. But Robin Gibson gets the try surely that clinches it for the second guest side Edinburgh Academicals. It really was great support work. Initially Simon Burns seemed to have maybe made an error in cutting back to the left, but he found Robin Gibson there and he was just out in the clear. Simon Burns again. Edinburgh Academicals with the chance in the quarter-final of meeting Old Beckahamians or High Wycombe. Next tie on. He is slotting them well, everyone almost spot on. So Simon Burns playing a captain's role. The whistle goes for the end of the tie. Edinburgh Academicals into the quarter-final. Victors over Millfield, who've had a great pleasure in playing here at Twickenham for the first time, but beaten by 30 points to 14.
And Edinburgh Academicals through to the quarter-finals, where they'll meet High Wycombe, also quite convincing winners there. And another quarter-final place taken by Harlequins second, and that leaves just one quarter-final place in the bottom half, and it'll go to Richmond second, or the holders Harlequins. And
Bill Davidson, who went to Blundell's and student at Oxford Polytechnic. Out there to Dowse. Ryden, Dowse on the loop. Lovely play, Swart. Can Swart make it to the corner? Chased across there by Craig Luxton. Swart is in. What a roar. Chris Swart, the 26-year-old doctor. But it was the loop really that made it. Good scrummage ball. Now watch Dowse here going on the loop so quickly. And then Swart had so much to do. Craig Luxton was covering across number 2, but he checked inside, broke the tackle. Lovely try. Glenister. Carling. Harriman. Everton Davis, another flying machine. Look at that. Beautiful straightening of the angle of the run. He's away past Bill Davidson. The first try for the holders. The scorer, Everton Davis. Silky smooth running all the way. Carling just fed it straight out, and then Harriman gave it. Now watch Davis here. That's him coming off his left foot. See how he veered away and just stepped up a gear there. That was the change of pace that took him past the tap tackle. Lovely running. Winterbottom, Glenister, Carling. Carling well held and thrown down there by Eddie Saunders. Luxton. Luxton is away. He's got Chris Sheesby with him. This is Sheesby, this big powerful 16.5 stone forward. Look at him go. Chased all the way by Kenningham. But a lovely score, that one. Just brilliant running off the ball by Sheesby. This is the big fellow who was in the winning Harlequin 7 at Middlesex 2 years ago. Went with the Barbarians to Hong Kong in the last 2 seasons. Watch his running off the ball here as Craig Luxton made the threat. He ran so beautifully in behind and angled his run away to take him away from David Kenningham, chasing away there, the 28-year-old. Lovely score by Sheesby. Again away from Kenningham. This is Schwartz. Schwartz going. Has he got the pace to go all the way? Harriman after him. On there to Matt Dowse. Dowse is in at the corner. Listen to the roar. Matt Dowse, the youngster, the scorer. And what a beautiful score it was. Tremendous running initially by Swart when he was sent away by David Kenningham. Broke the tackle, felt himself in the clear, and there the pass was enough. Andy Harriman was already committed to the tackle. Dowse the scorer. Harriman trying to go outside Dowse, and he has gone, and he knows he can canter along. He feels the opponent there. Chris Schwartz in the chase, but a try for Andrew Harriman that will give the holders a little bit of breathing space. Bob Ryden restarts. Sheesby takes. Glenister. Carling. Now we haven't seen Carling's pace yet, but we're seeing it now. From his own 22 metres line, Will Carling with just a little dummy pass and then that smooth acceleration. That's the Carling we all know so well, that we've seen so much of in 7-a-sides especially. I mean, straight from the kick-off, Chris Sheesby winning it, Glenister feeding. Now watch just a little hint of a pass there, and then from a standing start, blistering pace away, changed it to the other hand in case he had to hand off on his left. Prairie in front of him. Lovely score. Rob Glenister has converted, and the Harlequins are streaking away at 24 points to 8, and they've just about a minute or so to go. So the champions with this great record behind them, 18 finals, Middlesex, and 13 wins. And having been rustled up early on, they've settled to a smooth feel, and they're beginning to spread the load as well. Change of tactic as Peter Winterbottom takes it. Waits for the support. Magnificent catch by Carling. Sheesby feeding. Glenister, Luxton, Harriman, Davis. Davis too, look at that. Again, the searing pace. The little bit of swivel of the hips initially, and then the stretching of the legs. And that's the kind of pace that, well, makes any 7-side absolutely lethal. He swung it right from one side to the other. Harriman went on the loop to Davis and obviously took one player with him. Davis broke the one tackle, and then that little shimmy, and he was out in the clear over halfway, and the rest was a nice easy stretch. Everton Davis, his second try. Glenister enjoying kicking goals from in front of the post. The referee's whistle goes for the end of that tie. The holders are through. Harlequins won victors by 30 points to 8.
Impressive stuff, and they'll meet their mates in the quarterfinals. There's the complete lineup. We're going to join the first quarterfinal. It's the all Rosslyn Park affair. The game is in the second half. Nigel Starmer-Smith commentating.
Well, you join us with what you could call the ultimate internecine struggle. The first semi-final place at stake, and it's Rosslyn Park 1 against Rosslyn Park 2. Where I make it just about 3 minutes into the second period of 7 minutes, and the Rosslyn Park first 7 lead 10-6, but they're under immense pressure now from the underdogs, inevitably the second 7, who have the attacking scrummage with 4 minutes to go. It's 10-6, but Rosslyn Park's second 7 in the red and white hoops are in possession now with a chance to create. And no love lost here between two very talented 7s. Rosslyn Park's first 7, the runners-up last year in desperate trouble. Simon Hunter on his own line, and a penalty has been awarded. Not a try, it's a penalty and a chance. One score is all they need to draw level, and then they would have the conversion. So it's the second 7. The big burst. Tony Brooks, the captain, is held. Still no more than a tantalising metre short of the goal line. But a breakout on here, Simon Hunter, one of those experienced playmakers, runners in of the Sevens game. Possession again for him now. Alex Woodhouse, the former Harlequin, 3 times in the winning Middlesex Sevens final. But they're really being trapped inside their own in-goal area, but begin the breakout now. And it's the first 7 through. Bill Rennick, great cover by the Rosslyn Park second 7 with just, 2.5 minutes to go. A place in the semi-final at stake. 10-6, Rosslyn Park's first 7. Runners-up last year, 4 times winners of this tournament, and including 5 of last year's team. But it's Tony Brooks setting it up for Rosslyn Park 2, almost breaking through with Stratford. But the pass loose. Possession, of course, is everything. And it's Bill Rennick setting it back on now to Adrian Thompson, and that's a crucial score if he makes the whole way. Chased by Yogi Umiat-Akin, and it's a great tackle back. But the support, the crucial element, sees Richard Moon score under the post. And that could be the killer blow. Richard Moon with a great bit of support work. The temptation is just to watch and let your teammate go the whole distance. But you never know, as indeed here it looked a certain score for Adrian Thompson. But watch the cover here of Yogi Umiakin. Really gallant effort to come back. But then Thompson could relax, because there was his team skipper Richard Moon in support, and the scrum half, who's played rugby with Cambridge and Abertillery, put it down under the post, and the vital score. 14-6 then, and just over a minute to go. And a place in the semi-final looks assured now for the Rosslyn Park first 7, as Woodhouse adds the conversion points. It's been a great tussle, this one, and no case of the second 7 conceding anything as a sort of courtesy or favour to the first 7. Far from it. 10 minutes, 10 points adrift now, and a minute to go. Oh, that's brilliantly played there by Stratford. It really was superb. And here's Dixon. Dixon could make it. Aiken in support. There's the try. What a fight back by Rosslyn Park's second 7. They really are not taking this one lying down, and that was some brilliant work by Stratford to create it. Absolutely superb handling. And the dummy worked like a charm for Dixon, and Aiken fought his way through. Good score. The conversion missed, so it's got to be virtually a restart try and conversion if Park's second 7 are to stay in the hunt. They're 6 points adrift. We're now into injury time. Aiken back on his feet. Good score by him. And all to play for then. And Rosslyn Park's second 7. No, they've really got to score from the restart kick. That might be their last chance of possession. So what will happen? Here's Adrian Thompson. It's short. No advantage. So the scrummage will be allowed. I'm sure it wasn't a deliberate ploy. Referee Patrick Thomas from Montélimar, where the new goer comes from. And it's Chambers. All about possession, impeded by Richard Moon. It's a penalty to the second 7. Can they steal one here to put it level and force extra time? What a performance that would be. Guy Leloup set up to Stratford. Again by Chambers. This is good work. Aiken, tackle solid, but still possession is there for Chambers. But it's a put into the first 7. The side who lost to Harlequins in last year's final. And the Harlequins looking impressive again at the other end of this draw. Rosslyn Park looks set now to make it through for the semi-final to face either London Scottish or Northampton. But still extra time being added on. We're almost 2 minutes beyond the 7 minutes. There has been a bit of a stoppage. Another penalty. In fact, the French referee, I'm sure will be reminded by some that when the referee, his first tie he was in charge of, ran for 9 minutes in one half, and he's done that again. We're over 9 minutes in the second half. Rosslyn Park 1 will be wanting to hear the whistle. Thompson, Woodhouse, still the covers there. Moon with the pickup. And that's the final flourish. Bold effort by Rosslyn Park's second 7. Tremendous fight, but it's the first strings who go through.
So London Scottish and Northampton in this quarter-final match. London Scottish team with plenty of experience in Ian Morrison, Scotland B, Tony Withersgreen and Andrew Walker in the front row. David Millard as the scrum half. Kevin Troop at number 5, wearing the number 9 jersey, has replaced Nick Grecian. He had an injury in the first round, and the pace of Mark Appleson. And Northampton, there's plenty of pace in the Northampton side, and the man to watch for is Ian Hunter, the England B winger and fullback, and the man who finds himself going to Australia with England this summer. A fascinating contest this, as Northampton take the attack straight away through John Tame. London Scottish, who had a very tough battle in the first match, and this now is John Steele trying to find a way down the narrow side. He's still going. John Steele needs the support. It's not quite there. And Northampton cover, or is the try? The try is scored. Pac-Man, the scorer for Northampton. There was plenty of movement running off the ball in the backs, and John Steele tried to look back inside. The half tackle from Millard. Steele standing on his feet. He really wriggled out of some tackles, almost doing the Houdini. Did well to get the pass. It was knocked forward, and there's Pac-Man who dived to get the try. First blood to Northampton. And the conversion attempt rests with John Steele, the man who's a prolific point scorer for Northampton. connected with that one. That's one he'll want to forget. So it's gone a little cooler here at Twickenham, but conditions just about perfect. There's a little breeze. And London Scottish, who had a tough match in their first round against Loughborough Students before coming through 16-12, and Northampton had no trouble disposing of Basingstoke, but this really is a challenge for them. London Scottish on the attack through Appleton, and this is Kevin Troop. Troop's wiggled inside, and Troop's going to score for the Scots, and the riposte is immediate, and Kevin Troop scores the try that levels the scores. It was quickly one ball. Appleton, the number 7, he's the fast man, but spins out a long pass to Troop. Now Troop should have been tackled here. Comes inside his man, Ian Hunter. Hunter really was not much of a tackle, and Troop strolls through to score. The conversion from Fraser Harold, and the Exiles take the lead by 6 points to 4, and just over 2.5 minutes played. Northampton, who know all about sevens techniques. They're the winners of the National Sevens last season. And John Steele with the kick-off, so crucial to sevens play, and that's just about perfect. Rodber went up for it, but London Scottish had possession. Scots in possession through Walker. Walker passes out, finds Millard. And there's lots of men if they can get passes in here. Withersgreen and Appleton. Appleton should score. Appleton if he gets through the tackle. And Appleton has scored for London Scottish. Started from the kick-off, and Northampton will not want to repeat that exercise. It started a long way from infield, but Withersgreen sends out the long pass, well taken by Appleton. He had a man outside, jinked back inside, and there beats the tackle to score. Fraser Harold with his second conversion, and he'll rue missing that, because that was an important conversion, but it's London Scottish who lead by 10 points to 4. John Steele with the restart. Tap back for the Scots. Scots with men standing inside their own 22. The kick might be on here. This could be a chase. Hunter's the fast man for Northampton, and it's Appleton for London Scottish. The 2 sevens. Hunter down on the ball and stands, but tackled by Appleton. Looks as if all won't come out of that, and the referee has given the put-in to Northampton, much to the disappointment of Scottish fans. Ian Morrison, the former Scotland B player, wearing 1 for London Scottish. Frank Packman with the put-in. Andrew Walker, number 3 on the far side for London Scottish, former Loughborough man, and that's one against the head for Withersgreen. Fraser Harold going for it. Good defence by Northampton. Tim Rodber, the big man for Northampton, comes away, well tackled, still berthed inside their 22, and Northampton can't get away from here, and they concede a penalty. Rodber, the man penalised, and didn't enjoy that decision too much. David Millard. The long pass. Appleson. Troop coming back inside. Nice interplay. Harold wants Troop to come inside him. Had to hold on to the ball. Hunter hasn't seen much of the ball himself. That's a hack upfield by Tame. Millard the man to cover and start it all off again. Finds support. It's great play. Andrew Walker has got half the field to run. This could be one of the great tries of the tournament. And Andrew Walker, formerly the Edinburgh Academy and Loughborough, scores the try for London Scottish that stretches the lead here against Northampton in this quarter-final. No greater sight. He had a long way to go. That's the halfway line. Has a look at where the covering defence is coming from, and he's made up his mind. He's going to go all the way. Points to 4 with the conversion to come. Appleson with the conversion from quite difficult angle. He's got the right angle as far as the left foot is concerned, but he's missed. And we've now played over 8 minutes, 8¼ minutes, as the referee calls a halt to proceedings for the first half, and London Scottish lead by 14 points to 4. That's a good first half performance by London Scottish, and Northampton, well, some of their ideas we'll have to think about, with the kick-off being so crucial in Sevens play, and John Steele, who is the pivot, takes the kick-off. It was just about inch perfect, but as Rodber went up, so it tapped back to Morrison. Morrison feeds, and the Scottish straight away from the kick-off. It's they who are in possession, and it's they who's going to score. And Millard, even the half tackle comes in from Harlequins, from Northampton. And you see how the movement sweeps way back across field, simply because possession was gained straight away. The back's able to line up, and Appleson scores. A 10-point cushion then, as London Scottish get the second half underway. And rather acrobatically, Rodber went up. Packman. And London Scottish have done well here because they've denied Northampton possession. Penalty conceded. Millard. And kick ahead by Harold. And is he going to collect his own kick? Hunter is there, so too is Packman. John Steele, who really needs to conjure something for Northampton, who trail by 10 points, 14 points to 4. That's a better kick-off, and tap back by Rodber. And Alston, the captain, in there. Oh, the interception, and Tony Witherscreen is going to score, but the referee brings them back for a penalty, taken in an offside position. Packman calls for the signal. Alston. Tame running off the ball. There is 2 men on his outside. Tame wants the support, finds it from Alston, the captain. The fast man is not there. Alston through one tackle. He's got 7 yards to go. Brought down by Appleson. Great tackle by the Scots. looked certain that Northampton would score, and somewhere in that melee the ball is, but Northampton couldn't quite make it, and that really might have been a very important try. Northampton trailing 14-4 in this quarter-final. And one of the Northampton players has taken a knock, Barry Clark. It looks like a contact lens, something we see quite often in rugby these days. One of the more comical sights is to watch rugby players actually looking for the lens. 3 inches of turf, but fortunately for Barry Clark, he's found his. So good attacking position for Northampton. Packman and Steele and back to Packman, but they're going backwards. It's lateral movement. Hunter can't get the pass. They needed to get the ball to Hunter, the fast man, and the London Scots must be well pleased with the way that they've stifled the supply of ball that Northampton have managed to Ian Hunter. Well, that's what our computer tells us, that Northampton have actually had more possession of the ball, but they certainly haven't used it. As the Scots come away, and it's Troop again. He's got a long way to go. Hunter's going to catch him. The support from Morrison. Morrison won't make it. Rodber is covering as well. There's Harold. And the pass out to Appleson, and that is a great try for London Scottish, and that surely seals it in this quarter-final. The length of the field, the crowd enjoyed that, and Mark Appleson scores the try that stretches this lead. Troop it was who made the original break, coming inside Ian Hunter. He's a fast man, but he knew he wouldn't make it all the way. Hunter, you see, was making ground on him. Good pass inside to Morrison. Morrison, the big man, knew he couldn't go. And London Scottish running in numbers, and Appleson who takes the final pass. And that is really good play by London Scottish. His second try in this quarter-final, which takes the Scots to an 18-4 lead. And Millard with a conversion that surely seals it for Northampton. Two minutes of this match to go, and Northampton, who are one of the two guest sides here at Twickenham, the other being Edinburgh Academicals, and it looks as if this is the first who are going to be knocked out of the tournament. Packman though. But every time a Northampton player sees a gap, there are two London Scottish tacklers in control. A kick through by Appleson, and again a chase, and this is all that Hunter's had to do really in this match, is to chase back and cover. And there are two Scottish players to the one Northampton, and that has told perhaps the superior fitness of the Scottish boys. So London Scottish, who've been in 12 Middlesex finals in their history, they've won the tournament 6 times, and here they are, they're looking quite a challenge. And Millard drops the ball with the line at his mercy. There was a man outside him as well. David Millard. So time running out now for Northampton, with the put in to the scrum in their own 22. Packman. Steele, Hunter. Hunter, first time with the ball. He's going to go all the way this time. Hunter's going to go, and the crowd wanted to see that. They needed to see it a long time ago, but it really is the only opportunity that he's had. And Ian Hunter, the man who goes with the England party to Australia in the summer, scores perhaps the last try for Northampton in this tournament. And he'll take the conversion himself with the drop goal. And the referee blows for the end of the match in this quarter-final, and London Scottish go through to the semi-finals, winners over Northampton by 20 points to 10.
And we can have a look at that tackle again. This is Ford Swanson. Decided he didn't have the pace. The kick had gone, and well, it was definitely late. Graham McGregor, the Scottish one that is, taking the penalty. Son of Ian McGregor, who played 9 times for Scotland as a flank forward. Way back, McGregor almost there, former captain of the Glasgow district side, and so a very experienced player. And as you'll see also, a very powerfully built fellow. He's 13.5 stones, which is pretty solid for a scrum half. High Wycombe, who've had a superb season. They won the Slough Floodlit Cup, they won the Buckinghamshire County Cup, and they've done not badly in sevens either, but McGregor has it. Not to the referee's satisfaction, must have come out the side. Graham McGregor there, who went with Scotland to Zimbabwe on tour in 1988. Shows you how close he is to the big time. Real trouble there for Nicholas Beale, and it'll be a scrum 5 to the Academicals. They've got 3 minutes to go to half-time, 7 minutes each way, and this for a place in the semi-final, and perhaps the dubious distinction of taking on the champions Harlequin 1. We'll see. Simon Burns. That's a switch to Howgate. Howgate, the big wing. Good bit of interception by Mike Cussell there, and that's out to Graham McGregor, the High Wycombe version. Don't often see a kick, but you can see how useful it is. Back there went Robin Gibson for the Academicals, worked away well to Rob Wainwright. This is the big 6 feet 4.5 inch forward. McGregor, David McIver, Swanston going, McIver still. A chance for Burns. I think Burns is in the clear. He's gone. And that'll be the first try of this quarter-final for the captain of Edinburgh Academicals, Simon Burns. His second try of the tournament so far. But it took the Academicals to move the ball around for that 4-0 lead. You can see here how, first of all, upended there was Ford Swanston, then David McIver, and eventually Simon Burns felt the space, veered inwards to make the kick a bit easier, and succeeded in that as well. Very thoughtful fella, Simon Burns, because he takes the kicks as well, so making it nice and simple for himself. So 6 points to 0. Simon Burns, his 6th conversion of the tournament so far. He had 5 against Millfield Old Boys in the opening tie. And a great crowd here, well over 40,000, and as you can hear, in very good heart and very good voice. One minute to go to the break. Nicholas Beale gets it going. Wainwright. You can see how vital it is to have a big forward like Rob Wainwright, the Scotland B player, to deal with those restart kicks. He's on this side, and we'll see David McIver will probably try to swing the scrummage to upset the High Wycombe heel, although you're not supposed to, but Academicals winning useful ball. Swanston, Burns, Swanston on the loop. He's got Howgate outside him. This is Howgate. Howgate feeding on to Wainwright. Fed out by McIver. This is McGregor. Burns, oh, when he was knocked down late. Yes, I think Nicholas Beale was a little bit late with the shoulder there, and it's again the double penalty taken by McGregor. McGregor to Burns. Burns out there to the hooker. Robin Gibson got there, but his foot was in touch. That's Robin Gibson, who joined Edinburgh Academicals this season from Stirling County, where his 2 other brothers play. A real tough situation for David Cheesewright with the throw-in, because well, it's got to be accurate. Yes, he's checking to find out what's what, and a bit of orienteering for Great Britain that Cheesewright has done. Well, they did well to get it to Chris Roddick. Referee's whistle goes for half-time. It's all to play for. Edinburgh Academicals leading by 6 points to 0. And the Mexican wave is going round Twickenham at the moment. One of the features of the Twickenham crowd on Middlesex Sevens Day. Whether you approve of it or not depends probably on how old you are, but everybody seems to enjoy it. So we can have a look at that very close, almost a try for Robin Gibson, the hooker, just getting outside his man, and you could see his foot just was over the line before he got the ball away. They have a 1-minute interval here at Twickenham in between the halves. It's also done at the Ulster Sevens, I noticed, in Belfast on Monday. Not done in the Scottish border country where sevens were invented way back in 1883. And the atmosphere here building up as we await for this entry into the third semi-final spot. Already Rosslyn Park 1 and London Scottish through. They'll contest the first semi-final. But everything to play for here. Conditions lovely. The pitch in good order. A little bit dull, but no rain so far. Hardly any wind. Colin Little blows for the start of the second half. We've seen a lot of that today. It's so desperately difficult just to judge exactly the weight of kickoff. So High Wycombe promoted to League 4 from the Southwest. They won the Southwest League this season. And this season in sevens they've won Abingdon, Buckinghamshire and Chiltern, and were runners-up at the Berkshire Plate. Burns restarts. Cussell, the big fella, waits. Not able to control their possession there. Of course, it's a great day in the lives of those fellas like the High Wycombe boys playing in League 4 from the Southwest, and to come onto this great international ground and before this huge crowd provides a day to remember for all of them. McGregor. Swanston. Robin Gibson trying to clear it. And Rob Wainwright, number 3 there, who played in the Scottish Saltires team, who got to the final of the Ulster tournament in Belfast on Monday. Very experienced sevens forward now, but High Wycombe on the move, out to Chris Preston. This is Graham McGregor, the wing, now on to Huxtable. This is the fast man Nicholas Beale, almost over halfway. The pick-up again by Wainwright. McIver standing off. Switch there from Gibson to Burns. Swanston. Swanston has Howgate outside. Swanston on the look, and he's clear. That could be the vital try for the Academicals. He's just made it. Port Swanston, the try scorer. And again, with a lovely loop move. This Academical side, not with great flaring pace, but they can all motor a bit, as you'll see here. Simon Burns feeding out first. Now this is Swanston. Watch how he gave it to Howgate, and then the loop. And Howgate did brilliantly to take out 2 men. And well, Chris Roddick just couldn't catch Fort Swanson. So 10 points to 0. But 2.5 minutes of the second half over. And Edinburgh Academicals, one of the 2 guest sides here. Northampton already eliminated. Academicals on their 3rd post-war visit to the Middlesex Sevens finals. Burns. Has he pulled it round enough? Oh, it's a splendid effort. So our old captain's conversion, that one from the touchline, gets due applause. And the Academicals have a nice cushion. Haven't done a lot on the Scottish circuit this season, Edinburgh Academicals, whereas High Wycombe here, they say, have done pretty well. And in the Middlesex qualifying, they beat Fullerian, St Mary's College and the Wasps. Swanston along to Gibson. This is Howgate. This is Burns. Burns again. Burns, who plays full back. Out again to Swanston. Swanston taking on Chris Preston. This is McGregor. David McIver, who's played a lot of rugby for the North and Midlands in the district championship. There he is, the big fella getting off the ground. Not a natural seven-a-side forward, but a good ball winner. And has pretty good hands as well. 3 minutes to go. Swanston, Burns. Howgate changing the angle. Swanston still. Swanston is away as he got the pace to go. Couldn't find Howgate onto Rob Wainwright. David McIver up to the 22. High Wycombe lads there piling back and tending to bunch a little bit, but this comes out to Graham McGregor. Yes, that's Nicholas Beale, a very promising young fella, 20 years old. It's out to the forwards, and this is Preston. On there to Chris Roddick, magnificent catch. Chased all the way by Burns, super tackle. Mike Tussell was up in support as well. That was great running by the big forward. Got a penalty for preventing fair release in the tackle, I think. 2 minutes of the tie to go. 12-0 for Edinburgh Academicals. Roddick nicely out to Beale. That's a kick through meant for Graham McGregor. And Graham McGregor's going to score if he just doesn't get too excited. Graham McGregor, the English version, has scored. And that brings High Wycombe back into the tie. McGregor, a 26-year-old marketing manager who's actually a Scot, born in Bells Hill in Lanarkshire. So here we have the chip through nicely by Beale. And well, Graham McGregor was out on his own, and he scored 18 tries in 22 games this season for the club, and that's probably one of the easiest he's had. Nicholas Beale, this is the youngest fella in the side. Scored 15 tries this season, 20 years old. Hasn't pulled it round just quite enough. And so it means that High Wycombe have got to score twice, and they've only about a minute to do it. 12 points to 4, Edinburgh Academicals lead. And Simon Burns taking his time about the kick-off. Here he is, the wise fella, known to his pals as Spats. Young solicitor. Oh, clever kick-off. A different one that time, kept it low. But that's Chris Roddick. Roddick still. Got down there by Swanston. Now it comes out to Beale. Beale has Preston outside him. Still Beale going. And if that pass had gone to hand, it could have been right through the middle. Russell Huxtable in support there as well, and David Cheesewright. These three forwards have battled away very well indeed. A very experienced trio they are, 32, 28 and 28. Burns. David McIver still. Out there from Swanston, Howgate. Howgate trying to hand off Graham McGregor. Good effort there, and it could be a try for Preston. What a lovely bit of running. He had so little space in which to do it, and Preston's try, well, has opened it up. I don't know whether they'll have enough time. It's not a French referee, so they maybe won't go on for 9 or 10 minutes. But you can see here he handed off his man, Ford Swanston, and look at the pace of the man. He had only a metre to work in. It was a very good bit of running. The referee's whistle goes for the end of the tie, and Edinburgh Academicals are through to the semi-final, winners over High Wycombe by 12 points to 8.
Fourth quarter-final to come. I'm trying to assimilate all these scores that are coming in to me. Let me just tell you that it's looking very good for Rangers up at Ibrox now, because Mark Haitley has scored a second goal there. He scored in the 40th minute, and he's got one into the second half, 10 minutes into the second half. Remember, Rangers need to win. Aberdeen only need to draw, but it's looking good, very, very good for Rangers there. In the relegation battle in Division 1, it's also looking very good for Luton Town. 2-0 up against Derby still. Mick Harford's own goal. Mick Harford, a former Luton player, and Lars Elstrup. And it's good for them because Sunderland are still only drawing at Manchester City. 2-2 the score there at Main Road. In Division 2, it's Barnsley 1, Middlesbrough 0. Barnsley hoping to make the playoffs if Brighton happen to slip up. Borough already assured of a playoff place, but when Barnsley look at the Brighton score, they won't be too happy because Brighton are leading 1-0. Brighton need that win to secure their playoff place. Mike Small's penalty after 35 minutes at the Goldstone ground. Oldham 0, Sheffield Wednesday 2 it remains. David Hurst and Danny Wilson at Boundary Park, second against third. Both promoted, of course. Oldham needing a win to have any chance of the championship. And I say that because, in fact, I've just had an update on that scoreline. Ian Marshall's got one back for Oldham. Ian Marshall after 60 minutes. But bearing in mind that Oldham need to win to have any chance of the championship, and they're within a goal now of that Sheffield Wednesday scoreline, West Ham are actually losing at home to Notts County, who have a playoff place, but not an automatic promotion place. West Ham are 2-0 down, Mark Draper's 2 goals. I can also tell you in Division 4 that Stockport are leading 4-0 against Scunthorpe, so Stockport look to be heading for Division 3, and Darlington 2, Rochdale 0, Darlington going to clinch the title and promotion there. Blackpool are losing at Walsall, and Peterborough are losing at Chesterfield. So other sides can just slip in that 4th Division promotion race. Right, it's time for the 4th quarter-final. That's how the lineup is now. Semi-finals, Rosslyn Park against London Scottish in 1 semi-final, and Edinburgh Academicals against the winners of Harlequins 1 against Harlequins 2. Alan Wilkins is our commentator at Twickenham.
And it's to be Rob Glenister of Harlequins 1 to start this match. What an intriguing contest it is. The holders, Harlequins, who are going for their 6th win in a row here at Twickenham, against the side that will be trying the hardest to stop them. Their 2nd string. And, well, it's one of the curious things about any success in sport that when the first team took the field here, they got booed. And Andrew Harriman now, who's already having an early stretch of his legs, and Harriman, the fastest man at Twickenham, is going to score the opening try within the first seconds of the match. And after 30 seconds, Andrew Harriman has given the lead to the Harlequins first team. And there really aren't many players quicker than Harriman. Do you see how he just danced around, checked the direction, and that stopped the tackle from going in? And when you have pace like that, you can go round people. Chris Mantell getting nowhere near the man, and that's an easy stroll in the end for Andrew Harriman. Glenister with the conversion, not too much trouble. 6 points to 0. Harlequins lead. Harlequins, who are the 13 times winners of this tournament. And they have 5 of the team in this lineup that played in last year's final. And so they really do have the experience over the lads. They probably have a drink with in the bar tonight and discuss where perhaps it all went wrong. Chris Sheasby. This is Dave Pears, the Harlequins 2 fly half, 2 England caps when he went to Argentina. Sheasby goes up and collects. Taken by Winterbottom, tackled by Paul Brady. Will Carling does well, feeds Sheasby. Craig Luxton and a little bit of nonsense, and there'll be a penalty to the Twos. It was Craig Luxton who had 3/4 of the field to run, and the referee saved him from that. Goodwin, Miller, Pears changes direction, wants people to run off the ball, tackled by Carling. A little bit static by the second team, and getting offside as well, and this affords Harlequins 1 to break out of defence. Carling, fairly loose. Sheasby has Davis, Everton Davis, the 2 fastest men out on the flank. Sheasby again with Harriman. Now Harriman can go all the way here Chris Mantell is the man in front of him, and he does well. Does well to stop the fast man. Winterbottom again. Crunching tackle on him. Everton Davis with Carling outside him over the halfway line, and Everton Davis ankle tapped. Great tackle. He might have got the pass out to Will Carling, but surely would have got the try. Carling again this time. Carling will stroll to score Harlequin's second try. And the customary boo from the crowd. Good crowd here, over 40,000 at Twickenham today. Will Carling scoring Harlequin's second try. There are enough people in this Harlequins lineup to make a gap to go for the break. And when Will Carling picks up the loose ball, then Richard Goodwin can't tackle him, and that's an easy stroll home. And nobody covered defending. Rob Glenister makes it conversion number 2, and that stretches the lead to 2 goals, 12 points to 0. In what is becoming a monopoly of the Sevens tournament by the Harlequins team. Harlequins who had an easy win in the first round against Richmond 2, but it has to be said that the Richmond 2 gave Harlequins 1 or 2 moments to think about. And the first game in any tournament is always the most difficult. This is Dave Pears, the former Aspatria and Sale outside half, now enjoying his rugby in the capital city, but he only finds Sheesby for his opponents. And the kick through now by Glenister. Glenister chasing, so too is Mantell. And back there Dave Pears, the outside half, has done well. He'll do even better if he can get it back, but he can't because Peter Winterbottom is on hand to pick up the feed, and Winterbottom scores the third try, and it's one-way traffic in this quarter-final. Peter Winterbottom, the ideal type of player to play Sevens rugby. Fast, he's a good winner of the ball. It was the kick through by Glenister. Dave Pears did well to collect the ball, get back onto his feet, but look at the ripping work there. And on hand is Winterbottom, and that really is very good technique to supply the scoring pass. Glenister, no problem, 3 out of 3. The try scorers Harriman, Carling and Winterbottom, and it's an 18 points to 0 lead. Conditions are just about ideal at Twickenham today. It was a little warmer earlier on, but the breeze, what there was, has certainly become nothing more than a flutter. When it's cool like this, well, it certainly doesn't take too much out of the players who have most of the length of the field to run. Pears, how many times he's done that? He's found Sheesby again, and Sheesby taps back, and it's Carling. Now Davis, Everton Davis, hasn't seen too much of the ball, which is probably why he's keeping possession. Now feeds Harriman, with Sheesby outside. Shadowing is Alex Hunn, still trying to shadow, has an arm on him. And good play by the Harlequin seconds. Crowd has gone just a little quiet for the moment. Perhaps they think this is nothing more than a formality for the holders of this tournament. Luxton looked as if he was going to throw it 60 yards, but it's been picked up by Hunn. Just a little scrappy. Davis picks up and feeds. Carling with Harriman outside. Harriman must go. Searing acceleration. Mantell, for all he's worth, is trying to catch him. He knows he won't. Harriman scores try number 2. And with such ease, just goes off the mark. Surely one of the fastest men in the world. It was loose ball. And Everton Davis was the man who went back. Carling had done well to come back, and all he had to do was feed Harriman. Look at that acceleration off the mark. Mantell will not catch him. And Harriman scores. One of the great sights in any sevens tournament, to watch a man like this to run the length of the field. Glenister with his fourth conversion, and it just sweeps across the face of the posts. And the whistle goes for half-time, with the Harlequins leading their clubmates by 22 points to 0. We've seen some great tries scored in this Middlesex Sevens tournament today. Andrew Harriman, Ian Hunter and Ford Swanson, the three men all with 4 tries apiece. Ian Hunter, disappointingly, we didn't see him in the quarter-final, where the London Scottish stifled the Northampton challenge. Northampton, one of the 2 guest clubs here, Edinburgh Academicals the other. Mark Appleson, the London Scottish player, and Simon Dixon, the Austin Park man, with 3 tries apiece. And we do have a minute's interval, something for the crowd to enjoy. It really is a good crowd, not the capacity attendance, but it's good and it's full of humour, full of fun, and we see some exciting rugby. The car parks were full early on. Those would be supporters of old Becky Hamians, who lost in their first round match to High Wycombe, but they really have enjoyed their day, and I think they want us to know it. Back to the serious job, and Dave Pears, who gets this quarter-final match underway for the second half. And, well, nothing would give this crowd a bigger cheer than if the Harlequin second team scored a couple of tries to level up the contest. Always the case in sevens tournaments when the underdog scores a try. Everton Davis with the quick restart from the 22. Sheesby finds Carling, does well to distribute. They're keeping possession, but they're backpedaling. Harriman, and they've gone back 30 yards, almost to their own goal line, but picked up by Luxton. Luxton up to his 22. Sheesby, good hands, does well, checks, had to do that really. Harriman with Glenister outside him. Of course, the one thing that a side like Harlequins does not want to do now is to run in tries from 70 metres. They don't want their fast men to expend all their energy, but here's one who might. Everton Davis evades the tackle, and Harriman again. Brady will not catch him, and Harriman scores again his hat-trick of tries in this quarter-final, and that has put the tie beyond the reach of Harlequins too. Well, Everton Davis has tried just about everything he knows to get his name onto the score sheet, but that was a good tackle, just the ankle tap there in the end. And this is Harriman, who picks up the loose ball, and you won't catch Harriman from there. Glenister. Rob Glenister makes it 4 conversions out of 5. And so a Harlequins team, well, maybe one day, a few years from now, we'll still have the Middlesex Sevens tournament. It's been going for 60 years, and it's made for people of all ages to enjoy. Still a mix-up for Glenister. We've already had one quarter-final tie with the one club fielding their two sides, where Rosslyn Park beat their second team 16-10. It's just about the first time that the ball has been kicked in this match. Oh, and the crowd enjoys seeing Will Carling doing anything, even if they don't sound as if they approve. 28 points to 0. Harlequins lead Harlequin 2. Peter Winterbottom wearing 3. Chris Sheesby number 1, but it's tapped back by Brady. And when it's not going your way, it certainly won't go your way. Paul Brady number 3. Craig Luxton with a quick throw in. Let's try that once or twice. It was knocked forward. Some of the great sides who've won this tournament knocked out. Loughborough Students had a very difficult first round tie with London Scottish before the Scottish went through, and they beat Northampton. And it's a London Scottish against Rosslyn Park semi-final, and this is for a place in the other semi-final to play Edinburgh Academicals, and Jeff Alexander's trying his best to at least put the second team back into it, and Dave Pears has carved his way through, and he might get there. No, the touch judge has got his flag out. The touch judge, the flag is up. Jeff Alexander, the big centre, tried to get his way through. Harriman stopped him. Now look at Harriman again. Dave Pears was going for the line. You'd think that if you were 28 points up, you let him score. There's no sentiment in this game, but there is a try now, and it's scored by the Harlequins to the big man, Bruce Miller. And a tap of acknowledgement from Rob Glenister and from Will Carling. And it was the quickly taken line out which enabled Harlequins 2 to score their try. 5 minutes gone in this second half, and at least the Quins 2 have got, well, they've got a name on the score sheet in the name of Bruce Miller. And you mentioned some of the names that have made household names in sevens tournaments, like Loughborough Colleges and London Scottish. Dave Pears with a conversion. We've also had some of the lesser-known names in the world of rugby football: Old Beckenhamians, High Wycombe, Guildford and Godalming, and they've all played their part in what is really a very, very enjoyable day. Just a minute to go as Rob Glenister to restart. 28 points to 6. Harlequins lead. Not often the tactic used, the long kick downfield, because it gives possession straight away to the opposing side. But when you're up by 22 points, then, well, you can afford to use as many tactics as you like. Pears with a little chip. Luxton is back there to cover, and he's taken his time about it. No need to do anything drastic now. Winterbottom, Luxton, long pass out to Carling. Well picked up and fed. Davis and Sheesby. Sheesby might have a run. Glenister. It's just about done at three-quarter pace, this. It is a man who can inject full pace into it. Davis and now Sheesby. Sheesby's found himself involved in a lot of these Harlequins movements. Winterbottom with the alley shuffle. Harriman. And the only thing this is doing now is to maintain possession, but that's a lovely sleight of hand by Luxton onto Glenister. And this is really good sevens technique. It keeps possession away, and in the end it results in a try, and that try will be to the England captain, Will Carling. And it makes the score 32 points to 6. And in what has been really a formality, Harlequins will be going through to the second semi-final, where they will play Edinburgh Academicals. final piece of action in the match, and as sure it is, the conversion is missed, and the final score in this quarter-final with Harlequins, the defending champions, beating their teammates Harlequin 2 by 32 points to 6. Harriman scoring a hat-trick of tries, and they now go through strongly as the favourites to meet Edinburgh Academicals in the semi-final. The other semi-final will be London Scottish and Roslin Park.
Well, there's confirmation of the semi-finals, and the action can be seen. Come in, lad.
And all sorts of problems, playing the unorthodox step, and this should be a clear run to the line for Yogi Yumi Aiken, and that'll be a very popular try at Twickenham. Aiken is there. Oh, nice linking. And Roslin Park on the attack. Lulu is going to have to go all the way. He's got a 60-yard sprint. Aiken has given up the supporting role with him. Is he going to make it? This could be a great tackle by Rudling. Oh, magnificent tackle by Saracens Rudling. 60-70 yards seem like an eternity. And Rudling is sidestepping his way out. But the crowd enjoyed that tackle right on the stroke of half-time.
Very good handling here by the Scots, and that's a lovely pass indeed out to Andy Walker. That was great stuff initially by Grecian. Fraser Harold going almost all the way. Mark Appleson is going to score, chased all the way there by Nigel Richardson. But that is a brilliant London Scottish try. Very reminiscent of the type of rugby they played in their halcyon times in the 60s. And this is the breakout for the Academicals. Robin Gibson was the lad who took it on. Now it's Ford Swanston. Simon Burns is away. He's got Stuart Howgate outside him. Burns still in the support. He's juggled with it, but it hasn't hit the floor. Nicholas Jenkins with the throw. Knocked back by Ian Peter. Nicely out there to Simon Hill. Devino. Hill on the loop. That's a great bit of running by him. Hill's going all the way. That's a superb try. A wonderful loop try, and the crowd simply loved it. Out there to Dowse. Ryden, Dowse on the loop. Lovely play, Swart. Can Swart make it to the corner? Chased across there by Craig Luxton. Swart is in. Glenister. Carling. Harriman. Everton Davis, another flying machine. Look at that. Beautiful straightening of the angle of the run. He's away past Bill Davidson. The first try for the holders. The scorer, Everton Davis. Silky smooth running all the way. Carling well held and thrown down there by Eddie Saunders. Luxton. Luxton is away. He's got Chris Sheesby with him. This is Sheesby, this big powerful 16.5 stone forward. Look at him go. Chased all the way by Kenningham, but a lovely score that one.
Tony Brooks setting it up for Roslin Park too, almost breaking through with Stratford. But the pass loose. Possession, of course, is everything. And it's Bill Reddick setting it back on now to Adrian Thompson, and that's a crucial score if he makes the whole way. Chased by Yogi Yumi Aiken, and it's a great tackle back. But the support, the crucial element, sees Richard Moon score under the post. And that could be the killer blow.
London Scottish had possession. Scots in possession through Walker. Walker passes out, finds Millard. And there's lots of men if they can get passes in here. With a screen, and Appleson. Appleson should score. Appleson if he gets through the tackle. And Appleson has scored for London Scottish. Started from the kick-off, and Northampton will not want to repeat that exercise.
Went Robin Gibson for the Academicals. Worked away well to Rob Wainwright. This is the big 6 feet 4.5 inch forward. McGregor. David McIver. Swanston going. McIver still. A chance for Burns. I think Burns is in the clear. He's gone. And that'll be the first try of this quarter-final.
And Andrew Harriman now, who's already having an early stretch of his legs, and Harriman, the fastest man at Twickenham, is going to score the opening try within the first seconds of the match.
So plenty of enterprise, plenty of tries in store. Let's now go to the first of the semi-finals. Your commentator is Bill McLaren.
The first of the semi-finals brings together two of the great seven-a-side exponent teams over the years. Rosslyn Park won against London Scottish. Rosslyn Park side having back to their traditional jerseys of red and white and their black shorts. And Rosslyn Park with a side full of seven specialists. Some great work by Alec Woodhouse there with a couple of tries and 4 conversions so far. A side steeped in seven-a-side ability. And London Scottish, who surprised everybody by ousting Northampton, one of the guest sides here, and there a side with Mark Appleson running in 3 splendid tries already, and with a replacement in Kevin Troop, who came on for Nick Grecian. And so we're all set, and a Ken Speckle referee indeed, the great international referee, Roger Quittenden. And the scene set for 2 cracking semi-finals. Lovely conditions still. It's been a bit dull all afternoon, but very little breeze down on the pitch there. And this, of course, gives you some indication there of the breeze away at the top of the stand, the Middlesex County Rugby Union flag. But down on the pitch, there's hardly anything at all to trouble the players. And it's Adrian Thompson, who was in the winning Harlequin 7 at Middlesex in 86, 7, 89 and 90. Adrian Thompson getting it started. Walker takes it. Millard. And crunching tackling right away. And it could be a score. The referee's arm is up, and I think he's indicating a penalty for offside. A little bit in front, and Miller takes it very quickly. Going up the narrow side. Not a lot of room there. Up to halfway. A great chance for Millard, who gets it back. Harold having made all the running. That's the opening try, and a magnificent score. That's how to take advantage of a tap penalty, even away back in your own line. The crowd really appreciated that. It was virtually from their own line. The tap tackle, Harold bursting out, found his way up the touchline there. There was so little room initially. Moon with the challenge, but Millard came up like an express train, and he had help outside him from Andy Walker as well. Millard the scorer. Big laddie for a scrum half, isn't he? And way out there, Mark Appleson, the left footer from that right touchline. Appleson then. Yes, pulled it a bit to the right-hand side, but a very good strike for London Scottish, who've been in 12 Middlesex finals, won 6 of them. Last final here was in 1979 when they lost to Richmond 10-24. But Rosslyn Park themselves, with a great sevens record, they've been in 11 finals here. Adrian Thompson. Millard, a very powerful lad, as we saw from his statistics, but giving away the penalty there for not releasing. Richard Moon was up very quickly there, and you can see number 11 there, the captain of this Rosslyn Park side, out to Mark German. To switch to Thompson. Alex Woodhouse coming in up to the 22. German still. This is Thompson, lovely sinuous runner, but well tackled. And this is Troop, the little replacement who is there. Withers Green feeds out. Now it's Morrison. Chance for Walker, Andy Walker. Big fella, formerly of Loughborough Colleges and also went to Edinburgh Academy. So So Andy Walker, who scored a superb long-range try against Northampton, a vital try it was in the quarter-final. And the hooker is Tony Withers-Green, who went to St Paul's School in Barnes here, used to be with Harlequins. And the Scottish 22, 7 minutes each way. They played about 3, and it's 4-0 for Scottish. David Millard, who captained Scotland at the Student World Cup in France in '87. Notice Richard Moon got his foot cleverly across, and he's a tremendous harasser, Moon, and he's really made that opening for the Rosslyn Park side. This is Moon again. Simon Hunter. Woodhouse feeding. Lovely run there by Bill Rennick. Having his first shot here in the Rosslyn Park first 7. Now it's Moon once again, but the whistle had gone. Went forward a bit. London Scottish, who in the Courage League last season were promoted to Division 2, and this season were 5th in Division 2. So making a bit of progress. Millard, he's a powerful fella, broke the tackle again, but the support wasn't close enough to him on that left-hand side. Withers-Green, Morrison, did it strike a hand and go forward? Roger Quittenden has seen it. He's allowed advantage to go. Mark German. Hunter once more. Rennick goes back onto Moon. Moon with a sidestep. Moon going for the corner. That's a lovely try. Richard Moon with the equalising score. And he was really in the move about 3 times. He is a splendid sevens artiste, this fella. That was the feed out from Hunter. Now Rennick got it here. That's the 22. Now watch Moon here. Look how he came off his right foot, straightened, felt the tackle coming from Morrison, but just managed to evade it. Sheer determination. Richard Moon, who played for Cambridge University in '84, winning Harlequins 7 here at Middlesex in '88, twice in the final here with Nottingham. That's the sevens know-how he has. And we go away back to Simon Hunter, asking the referee if he has to wait until Alex Woodhouse gets back. He's been injured. Simon Hunter, another who's been in 5 Middlesex finals, 3 with Harlequins, 2 with Rosslyn Park. It's a pretty good lick he's given it as well. Oh, what luck. It was a beautiful kick, but it doesn't count. It's 4-all, and they've a minute to go to the break. Mark Appleson keen to get on with it. And lofting it pretty well, maybe just a bit too far. Eadrian Thompson was the fellow who took it there. Now it's Peter Taylor. Oh, and there's Mark German going. The lad they call Flash, but what a tackle there by Appleson. He's pretty quick as well. And the ball not being released. And got to get to your feet. So that was Miller feeding on to Morrison. Walker out there in the wing. Once more Morrison, the link man. He's done some tremendous work in ball winning this afternoon. Referee's whistle goes for the end of the first half. And it's locked at 4 points all. And you get the impression there from the players, just the sheer tension of the occasion, and also the fatiguing aspect of it. 7 minutes each way may not sound an awful lot, but out on this huge pitch, full size, 100 metres by 69, it really does drain you of stamina, and you really have to grit your teeth to keep yourself going, especially in the semi-final. There Mark German, who's another of the outstanding sevens exponents. He was in the Middlesex final in '89 when Rosslyn Park lost to Harlequins by 12-18. Those two sides have actually been in the final of this tournament on two occasions. Way back in '54 when Rosslyn Park won 16-0, and in 1962 when the London Scots won by 18-6. 4 points all, everything to play for, 7 minutes to do it in. Roger Whittington checks his watch. Appleson. Morrison up quickly. Tackle on Peter Taylor. Moon had it pinched from him there. You won't see that very often. This is Millard. Millard tackled by German. Morrison once again, you see his ability there to kill the ball on the floor and to work it back. Ian Morrison, who's related to the great Mark Morrison, who led the British Lions in South Africa way back in 1903. Scottish Schools player. Rennick goes down. This could be huge for Baldwin, but again Ian Morrison pinches it. Appleson going. This is Troop. Great tackle there by Simon Hunter. Harold on. This is Appleson. And referee Whittington quite rightly playing advantage as Hunter goes, gives it to German. German still inside his own 22. And Morrison has it. Interception by Moon. Some of the tackling is remarkable. And there's German once again. Rennick once more. That was Peter Taylor working his way out. They're still up in the Rosslyn Park half. And that was a sapping spell of play. Some heavy tackling, nip and tuck, each side with the chance in possession. Richard Moon wants to make sure that everybody knows what move is on. Simon Hunter toddled in and toddled out again. Moon then, German. Adrian Thompson. 5 minutes of the tie to go, 4 points all. And of course, first into the final get the longer rest, which is a very important factor. But after a long, hard season, this really is toil and trouble. Richard Moon will have to hurry up, or he may be nicked for delaying the put-in, although the scrummage was wheeling. Moon and Millard having a rare old battle there. The two captains of the Sevens. Rennick. Well, that's the kind of tie it is. Withers green out. Troop. Hunter kicks on. Back there goes Appleson. He's got Walker with him. Appleson, who's very quick. German can't hold him. On to Millard. Good follow-up by Rosslyn Park. There's a rare opportunity here. It's number 13, Adrian Thompson is going. And that could be a vital try. As Adrian Thompson touches down for the score. His second try of the afternoon. The other players are just getting off the ground, exhibiting all the signs of fatigue. But what an important try by the 29-year-old. 8 points to 4. They've played about 3.5 minutes. And you could see here, Rosslyn Park followed up so well. They had all kinds of bodies in support there. Rennick outside, but Thompson didn't need him. The last handoff did it. And he had the sense to get behind the posts, or as near as he could. So Adrian Thompson, who was on the England bench in '89, played for Middlesex in the county championship in '85, and he's represented London division as well. And his try, let's Alec Woodhouse. Well, he took it very casually and it just staggered over, but it still counts as 2 points. So it's 10 points to 4 for Rosslyn Park, and they've about 3 minutes left. Now Rosslyn Park going to make the final for the 12th time. And then Scottish, who had a great spell here in the 1960s when they were in 6 consecutive finals. That's a record Harlequins might equal today. Appleson again. Walker goes up. Morrison once more. What a ball winner he's been this afternoon. Withers Green. Right chance there for Harold. Harold on there to Appleson. Appleson is in between the posts. Well, what a riposte by the London Scots. Appleson's angle of the running was superb. That's his 4th try of the afternoon so far, and his pace has been very important, as you'll see here. Morrison, of course, won it. And then, as Harold went, look at the angle of the running. Nobody could touch him. They were all on the wrong angles. Appleson's try. And now David Millard, who played in a great Anglo-Scottish side, who once beat the touring French in 1987. Well, that was a shock for the Frenchman, especially as they lost to a Scottish 15 shortly afterwards. And Millard there ties the score. And once again, it's everything to play for. And they've just about a minute and a half in which to get the winner. 10-all. Some fairly tired fellas out there. They'll be glad of the rest, whichever one gets through to the final. The winners of this meet the winners of Edinburgh Academicals versus Harlequins first string. Thompson restarts. Up there went Andy Walker. Andy Walker at the front there, who plays number 8 in the London Scottish second 15. Tremendous enthusiast. There's a great deal on the social side of the club as well. Ian Morrison won it. Millard. Now Appleson once again. But a lovely bit of covering there by Peter Taylor. Yes, and he's able to stand up. He did so well, Peter Taylor, the 27-year-old. He got back there, he stood up in the tackle. The whistle had gone for the knock forward, but a splendid bit of work by the big forward who played for Manly in Australia 3 seasons ago. We're into injury time. Is this going to be the first extra time tie of the tournament so far, at least of the finals day? Millard and Moon have hustled and bustled each other, but Withers Green wins it. Morrison again. Millard. Moon again with the tackle. Morrison once more. This is Appleson. Walker outside. Walker inside there to Troop. Can Troop make it? Oh, dainty work. He's going to that. Could be the winning try. What an effort. What an effort by the little replacement. It was a magnificent bit of running. No wonder he's getting a cuddle from David Millard. A superb bit of running, offering up thanks to the Almighty for that great bit of work. It really was quite superb. This is Walker, the big forward, who took it, and then the lovely little scissors. Now, he still had a lot to do. He burst one tackle. That was Simon Hunter's. Little jink there. Oops, almost caught me. What a glorious feeling. And in front of 40,000 as well. The referee's whistle has gone for the end of the tie. And London Scottish are through to the final for the first time here since 1979. Winners over Rosslyn Park won by 16 points to 10.
Kevin, what a magnificent finish.
Yeah, well, I haven't done anything during the game at all, so I thought it was up to me to do something. What more can I say?
Well, you did it. You did it spectacularly, and of course you came here as a substitute, didn't you?
That's right, yeah, I was just, well, unlucky to get a game, the first game. Commiserations to Nick Grecian.
I love the little jink though, the sort of matador type jink, and then you must have seen the gap in front of you.
Just saw the goalposts and just went for it.
Wow, now, this is quite like old times. London Scottish's first final for 12 years. What about the other semi-finalists? Have you had a chance to have a look at them?
No, well, I think we beat Quins last week, but maybe that was their second team, so their first team hasn't played any tournament. So
It's a pretty useful looking side though, isn't it? Got a bit of pace.
yeah, a bit of pace, but we've got a bit of pace as well.
Good luck.
Thanks very much.
Thanks very much. Darmer Smith and Bill McLeod.
And you join us as the two teams for the final are being presented to Captain Michael Peary, who is the President of the Rugby Football Union, and also to Michael Christie of the Old Merchant Tailors, who is President of the Middlesex County Rugby Football Union. To Michael Peary on what has been a very hectic and busy and somewhat controversial year of presidency, makes his way up to the main box, and what started a week ago with close on 250 clubs contesting the qualifying stages at 8 London Rugby Club grounds now reaches its climax, the final of the 66th Middlesex Sevens tournament between London Scottish and Harlequins, the first time that those two great Sevens specialists have actually met in this final, although it's the 12th time, the 13th time that London Scottish have been there, and Harlequins with a record 19th appearance. And there, Andrew Harriman, the top try scorer in the tournament so far with 6 tries, the main danger man to London Scottish, 10 minutes each way. The referee, Andrew Mason, blows his whistle, and the final is underway. And immediately, Chris Sheesby got a knock as he went up for that ball, played just before he played the ball, and that of course now is a penalty offence, and it's a cautionable offence really, because when a player is up off the ground you're not allowed to tackle him or knock him over. That was one of the danger aspects that the administrators decided to deal with, a dangerous tackle in other words. However, Chris Sheesby is okay. Glenister, Winterbottom, Davis, Harriman, Sheesby. Now Sheesby has pace, he's already run a long way, but no way through there. On there to Luxton. Sheesby out to Harriman. London Scottish will want to close him down quickly, but it takes a lot of doing. Look at that. Oh, that's incredible running by this amazing chap. Even Millard can't stop him. And Harriman throws away again, purring away like a supercharged motorboat for the first try of the final. A remarkable bit of running. The crowd respond to it as you would expect them to. Quite amazing. If you watch him here, he was pegged in really. Withers Green couldn't hold him. Watch the kid on the dummy, then the jink, and then the change of pace. Across came David Millard, but no stopping this man. It was a super effort. 7 tries for the big fella. 6'2", almost 13 stones, and with pace like that. And a special clap for him as he makes his way back down the field, and thoroughly well deserved. Back to Rob Glenister with 12 conversions so far. And there is 13th, stroked over beautifully. That's his 13th conversion of 17 tries. You can see how valuable that kicking has been to Harlequins this afternoon. And Harlequins in every tie have sailed away, made themselves a huge cushion, and in a sense strolled the rest of the way.
I was just thinking back, Bill, to watching Harriman there. He seems to have dominated today and in previous years in the way that Gerald Davies did with Loughborough. Seems to be on a par with that.
Appleson restarts. Sheesby and Walker in opposition there. The ball beat both of them. London Scottish with 2 quite big lads in Walker and Ian Morrison. Morrison's done that pretty well all afternoon. Harold. Appleson has switched to Troop to Harold. Harold having a go, caught by Davis. Super embracing tackle, killed the ball as well. Harriman loose, Withers Green going up. feeds it out there to Walker. Walker going for the corner. Nicely out to Troop. Troop has done it again. Kevin Troop has done it once more. The little fellow who came on as a replacement for Nick Grecian in the first tie. And there he is with his 4th try of the afternoon. And it was Withers Green who really made it. And then Walker, the big forward, churning away. And Troop, well, Glenister was after him, but he made it. He's had a joyous afternoon, I tell you. Fancy coming on as a replacement, and here you are in the final. 40,000 and you score a crucial try like that. Life can be good sometimes. Mark Appleson, who's the left footer, scrum half in the 7 that were runners-up at the Glasgow Academicals tournament. His nickname is Banana Man, but I'm not sure why. Just past the right-hand post, 6 points to 4, Harlequins lead. And this huge crowd have waited right to the very end to see if Harlequins can do it once again. 13 victories out of 18 appearances in the final. They've won the last 5 on the trot. Glenister, beautifully hoisted. Morrison waits. Walker. Morrison rips. Withers Green. Appleson again. Little bit unlucky. He's another who's done some grass burning this afternoon with 4 tries. Very quick lad indeed. Eminently useful to this London Scottish 7. They're on their own 22. London Scots reviving memories of their halcyon times in the 60s when they got to 6 finals here in a row. Will Carling gets that very quick engagement, but this is the man that they have to engage quickly. Harriman, Davis with the lengthening of the stride again. He's going to make it to the corner. That's the kind of pace that wins 7-a-side tournaments. The 2 flying machines in unison there. Harriman really made it. Got away from that attempted tackle by Ian Morrison. And then he took out 2 tacklers. The improvised pass. And Davis, of course, just lengthened his stride. He's another beautiful runner.
It's such an important thing to have 2 runners in like that, because it takes the pressure off one who can have a good rest. He doesn't get quite so exhausted, and Davis is a tremendous backup. That time Harriman just providing the foil, and most teams have 1 flyer. The Quins just seem to have the edge with the brace.
And between them they've shared 12 tries. Glenister. Well, he's got the distance all right. That's a superb effort. He really has kicked well, and it's so vital to put over the goals in 7s. That's his 14th conversion. Harlequins with an 8 points margin. They've played 7 minutes, so 3 minutes to go to the break. London Scottish have showed fighting spirit all afternoon. Appleson. It's a good one. It's just over the 10 metres line. Withers Green. Millard. Harold. Appleson again. This is Troop. Troop taking on the great man himself.
Quite interesting watching him there, because for one moment I thought he was just going to duck under Andy Harriman's sort of armpit then. He's got an advantage because he's very, very elusive.
Walker. Harold feeding on. Millard is there. Gives it to Appleson. Harriman back to cover. And of course that pace that the Harlequins have isn't only absolutely vital in running in tries, but it's a crucial element in going backwards as well, as we saw there, closing down the space available to the London Scots backs. Inside the Harlequin 22. Peter Winterbottom is the captain. Spooked me a bit there with that short haircut of his. Looks tidier than usual. He got a bit of a shove there as well, but a slice kick by Carling. Troop has a chance. Can he hold it? Feeds it up. It didn't go to hand. Morrison was first there. Everton Davis leads the counter charge, and Glenister clears. Yeah, a bit of good-natured booing with 1 minute to go to half-time. Harlequins have adopted the mantle in a way of London Welsh, who used to get a bit of stick here because they did pretty well here. Winterbottom at the front with Walker. Morrison and Sheesby, and Morrison again switching position cleverly. Millard all the way out to Troop this time. Millard again. Appleson. Now Appleson is clear, but he's got Carling. Back inside to Troop. Good covering tackle there by Craig Luxton. Referee decides a bit of malpractice on the floor there. Penalty to the London Scots. It's David Millard, big fellow for a scrum half, almost 14 stone, 6 feet 1.5. Troop this time. Winterbottom with the tackle. A real chance here, and it's a try for Mark Appleson. London Scottish fighting back as they've done in previous ties. And of course it brings the crowd to their feet. The tap penalty did it, and then that lovely feedback there. Appleson juggled, but he had a lot of support, but he didn't need it. So 12 points to 8.
I must say I take my hat off enormously to London Scottish, because they had infinitely the harder draw, having disposed of Loughborough in a tight game, Northampton in a tight game, Rosslyn Park won, and here they are taking the game superbly well, and they're well and truly in the contest.
Fraser Harold. Just past. The London Scots haven't kicked their goals quite as well as the Harlequins have done. Whistle goes for the break. Just 4 points in it. 12 points to 8 Harlequins lead. And this is some final.
And in truth, Bill, it's really the first time that anyone has stretched Harlequins and had enough possession. And this is where I think the Scottish are doing particularly well. It's the first time that Sheesby, Winterbottom and Luxton just haven't had it all their own way.
And you can tell that from the scoring, because Harlequins scored 88 points up until the final, 16 tries, compared to London Scottish with 52 points from just the 10 tries. And so it's been that kind of situation for Harlequins. They haven't been pushed at all in the tournament, but they know they have a battle on their hands now, and it's going to take everything they have. Although I suppose if you were a betting man, you'd still put your money on those quickies in the Harlequin side, because Will Carling hasn't done anything in this final yet. Number 5 there. Just scored the 3 tries so far. Well, that's just about the best tackling we've seen this afternoon, I must say. One minute break and then another 10 minutes, and then if they're level, they play in bursts of 5 minutes of extra time, with the first team to score, of course, the winners. That extra time having derived from the very first Sevens tournament away back in 1883 at Melrose, where Sevens started. When Gala and Melrose were level at the end of time, they agreed to play 15 minutes. Melrose scored after 10, went off with the trophy, and it's been sudden death ever since. So the second half of the 66th Middlesex tournament gets underway. Rob Glenister starts it. Another all-embracing tackle, so important in the tackle, as Ian Morrison demonstrated there. Not only to put the man on the floor, but to kill the ball at the same time. Not the full 10 metres. And London Scots confident in their hooker, Tony Withers-Green, who used to play for Harlequins at one time. Born in Ochtermachty. Millard. Appleson once again. Great tackle by Everton Davis. Take on by Carling. This is Millard. Big strong lad. He's got support here. Appleson, Walker. There's a real chance there as Walker goes. Lovely tackle by Winterbottom. And it really is quite unceremonious, even in 7-a-side. You know, you can be standing minding your own business and get knocked 5 yards backwards. Will Carling, what a season he's had, eh? Grand Slam captain. Harlequins won the Pilkington Cup a week ago, and here with the chance of another record here at Middlesex, but having to battle for it.
Well, you're saying about winning the cup final. I should think Harlequins out there who are in that, 5 of them, are beginning to think about what Northampton did and the way they stretched them.
Still just 4 points in it. Harlequins 12-8 in the lead. Harold. Good block there by Glenister. This is Carling, but the whistle had gone. And a very good tackle by David Millard. David Millard there, who captained the Scots at the Student World Cup, also captained the English universities at one time. A 6-year-old school teacher. Withers-Green striking well. Harold. Troop again. This is Harold going through. Mark Appleson again, but crowded out once again. The pace and the physical effort of Everton Davis in the tackle. He's not a very big fellow, but he really does tackle like a thunderclap. Luxon with the throw. Sheesby with the feed. Glenister to Carling, to Everton Davis, to Harriman. Tackled this time by two. Everton Davis. A line of blue in front of him, but Winterbottom goes. Peter Winterbottom, Luxton, Will Carling. What an attempt at a tackle by Walker. It just checked Carling enough. Number 6 has it. Walker going. Walker chased by Harriman. The big forward going. Harriman has him. Can he reach there? The try is given. And Walker has scored his second try of the afternoon. And that's the most important one. 3 tries for London Scottish against the reigning champions. Andy Walker, the scorer. It was a great race. Harriman really stepped on the gas here. Walker angled it away. He could feel the hot breath on the back of his neck. The handoff really was what did it. And the long reach, good score. And they're singing down below. Andy Walker, educated at Edinburgh Academy and at Loughborough. And I tell you, what a tie we've got on now. London Scottish last won Middlesex in 1965 when they beat Loughborough 15-8 in the final. And here Mark Appleson with a chance to put them into the lead. Lovely silence for the kicker. That's great to notice. Pulled it round. It sneaked in. Appleson's conversion gives London Scottish the lead by 14 points to 12.
And one takes one's hat off to this forward triumvirate who have really taken on the Quins where they've looked so dominant and they've given as good as they got. They've really been winning possession. I don't think Quins expected to lose.
They've just 5 minutes of the tie left. As Glenister gets it going again, Walker feeds back. On there goes Sheesby, feeds up to Winterbottom. Carling feeds out to Everton Davis. One missed tackle. One bad pass to Harriman. Across there has gone Millard. Glenister. Ian Morrison going with it. Morrison's judgment of the distance and pace was superb there. He really wanted to deal with it, but he wanted it over the goal line, and he really did judge it well. So Harlequins, can they make it 6 wins in a row here? Already 5 wins in a row is a record. Mark Appleson taking his time about it. Now they could be penalised for time wasting if they don't get on with it. But Appleson, if that gets the role he wants, it could be very useful. Back goes Winterbottom. He's got Everton Davis with him. Andy Harriman has funneled back as well. Davis caught inside his own 22. Withers Green winning it. But a good ball for Harlequins, and Harriman goes. This is Chris Sheesby. Sheesby going flat out, chased there by Appleson. Sheesby still, David Millard is with him. Sheesby churning on, a magnificent forward strike. What a superb bit of running by the big fellow. He's almost 17 stones, and his pace was quite remarkable, not to mention his grit. A wonderful try for the big fellow who's been with the Barbarians to the Hong Kong Sevens and who was in the winning Harlequin 7 here 2 seasons ago. 16 points to 14, and Harriman opening out here did it. He missed out Carling and Sheesby. Now he had a long way to go, something like 70 metres. That was the first tackle by Mark Appleson. David Millard was covering, as he's covered well all afternoon, but the pace was just too much for him. It was a remarkable effort by the big guy.
I think this player will go places, I have to say. I think he's an extraordinary athlete for someone of his size, and I think we'll hear a lot more in 15-a-side game before long of this man Sheesby.
So Rob Glenister, who's been the most successful kicker by far this afternoon, pushed that one out though, and so there's still only 2 points in it, and I reckon they've just over a couple of minutes of the tie to go. The next score might well decide it. 16-14 for the Harlequins. Appleson, that's a poor kick-off. They needed a better one than that, the London Scots. Carling, Luxton. Yes, Everton Davis with a big kick. He'll get a boo. But it lets them reorganise, although the London Scots generally have done very well at the few throw-ins that there have been, mainly through Ian Morrison. That's Morrison and Sheesby at the tail. Morrison kids on, and then he always goes forward to take it. Millard, Harold going on. Luxton and Sheesby both in on the tackle.
I'll tell you what's so pleasing, Bill, is for once in a sevens tournament, the best match is proving to be the final.
Well, it certainly brought the best out of what I regard as one of the greatest sevens I've ever seen, this Harlequins lot, but they're being tested as Harold feeds it out. Appleson again. Harold once more, the fatigue beginning to tell, but Millard is there and he's strong. Feed out there to Luxton. Everton Davis tackled. The pick-up by Appleson. Tackled by Luxton. On goes Morrison, and that fierce engagement has been such a feature of this final, and why to some extent the try scoring has been limited. But now, after over an hour of 7-a-side rugby this afternoon, they'll be pretty tired, and the last big deep breaths will be taken now, because it's almost at the end of the tie. 16-14 Harlequins lead. A last chance perhaps for the London Scots to troop. Troop with the jink. Well tackled by Davis. The pick up by Winterbottom. Harriman once more. Controlled the ball well. Craig Luxton, who's been here, there and everywhere in this final. A very competitive little fella he is. But a chance still for London Scottish as Walker goes. Walker inside to Harold. Harold on there to Troop. Troop is going to score. Can Harriman catch him? This could be the winning try. Incredible score. The people on their feet all round the ground. And the little replacement has done it once again. Amazing scoring. His 5th try of the afternoon, and every one of them has been crucial. But that one was so beautifully created, and again with marvellous angling of his run. The arms are raised. This could be the last kick of the tie. And the kilts there are swirling about Twickenham, I tell you. This is Mark Appleson with the conversion attempt. It goes over. The referee has blown his whistle for the end of the tie, and London Scottish have scored a quite remarkable victory, one that very few people expected. 20 points to 16. They've beaten Harlequins, the reigning champions of the Middlesex Sevens. This in their 13th Middlesex final, and they've won for the 7th time. And they've done it with a quite dramatic try in the very last movement of the match. And it was a beautifully created try. Walker once again taking out Glenister in the tackle. And then Harold carrying on. And look at the angle of the little fellows running. Kevin Troop angling it beautifully, feeling the space. Marvellous vision. What a finish.
The thing that'll live in my mind is how this chap happened to be on the bench at the very start. I mean, it's been a fairy tale for him and for London Scottish. And extraordinarily wasn't in fact selected to be in the first 7 at the very beginning of the afternoon, but he's been the match winner in the end.
And so the big lad, Andy Walker, who's referred to by his pals with the nickname of Headless, but he's known where he was going today all right. And what a disappointment for Harlequins, because they are such a superb 7 with all the qualities you would need in a great 7. But the London Scots had fighting spirit. They have come from behind twice this afternoon, and that was the 3rd time. And they've produced some superb tries, and in doing so, they've revived memories of their halcyon days of the 1960s, when they got to 6 Middlesex finals in a row between 1960 and 1965. That's a record that the Harlequins equal today, but there surely is the happiest man in Twickenham at the moment, Kevin Troop, the former pupil of Gordon's College in Aberdeen, who used to play for Gordonians up there, and who has been, well, the match winner in this great final. And there Dick Best, a disappointed Dick Best, and Andy Harriman there, who did so much this afternoon with 7 tries, the top try scorer. And there you get an impression of the tremendous fatiguing aspect of an afternoon of 7-a-side rugby, and of course the terrible disappointment at the end when you expected to win and when victory is snatched from you, well, in the very last moment. But jubilant London Scottish players and supporters there, and David Millard, the captain, who has had some great moments for the Anglo-Scots, goes up there to receive the trophy. The Russell Cargill Memorial Cup, named after the great Edinburgh academical who was in on the start of Middlesex Sevens. David Millard there, what a joyful captain as Concord salutes a London Scottish victory. London Scottish, the Middlesex Sevens champions of 1991. And scenes of great jubilation here at Twickenham. Look at that massive crowd. That's the groundsman's nightmare, that, because of the ground getting compacted and the difficulty in growth after that. And great scenes of joy and indeed of disappointment. But it's been a great afternoon, and that really has been a magnificent